Dax Harrow never read the fine print on alien packaging. He barely read Earth labels. So when he stumbled, bleeding and dazed, into the wreckage of a medical pod glowing like a rave gone wrong, he didn't hesitate. He opened the sleek chrome cylinder, sniffed the shimmering crimson liquid, shrugged, and gulped it down. It burned. Sweet, metallic, electric. Not the worst thing he'd chugged on a dare. His vision blurred, chest thumped once, twice, and then clarity hit like a sucker punch. His muscles twitched, and for half a second he thought he saw stars blink behind his eyes. Then came the screaming. Not from him. From the armored alien woman striding into the clearing like war incarnate, blazing in violet gold armor, eyes glowing, her voice thundering like a space god with a megaphone. "Wait, you drank my blood?" she bellowed. He blinked. I didn't see your name on it." "That was sacred," she snarled. "That makes you my mate on this planet." Dax coughed. "Listen, I just wanted electrolytes, not eternal commitment." The warrior princess's fists clenched, glowing with ethereal rage. Her crimson cape flared behind her as palace guards closed in, spears humming with energy. Dax raised his hands. Whoa, time out. I thought it was alien Gatorade. How was I supposed to know it was royal? Ritual? Reproductive? You imbibed royal bond fluid, she snapped. It was meant for a chosen consort. My chosen consort. Okay, but follow-up question, he said. Why does it taste like cherry-flavored battery acid? Second question, why is my skin humming like a sex toy on stun mode? The guards lunged, but froze mid-strike. Their weapons refused to move closer. One collapsed to his knees. Another dropped her spear and whimpered. Princess Celari's eyes widened. Impossible! Dax looked down at his hands. They were glowing. Not metaphorically. Actually glowing. Pulsing with soft red energy that synced with the rhythm of her armor's pulse. Oh, that can't be good, he muttered. You've activated the nanospirits, she whispered, eyes narrowing. You bonded. Lady, he said slowly. I don't even know your first name, and now your ghost blood is throwing raves in my bloodstream. You passed the threshold. Only those with compatible dominance survive the ingestion. You should be dead. But the spirits accepted you. Okay, cool, great. Happy to be alive, Dax said, stepping back. But if drinking alien blood gets me accidentally married, I'm gonna start bringing my own flask to space. You have no idea what you've done, she hissed. Nope, he said cheerfully. And that's pretty on brand for me. One of the guards tried again to rush him. This time, Dax instinctively waved a hand, light flared, and the guard was knocked 10 feet back, armor sparking. Everyone stared. Including him. That wasn't me. That was your weird blood juice, he said, pointing. Celari's expression had changed. Still angry, but now layered with something else. Apprehension. Confusion. Maybe curiosity? She stepped closer. Your body shouldn't be able to contain that power. Lady, my body's contained 6 space parasites, 3 questionable tattoos, and a flask of something called solar whiskey. It's seen worse. You are now bound to me. You must understand, on Ularis Prime, drinking the blood of the royal line initiates a psychic and biological contract. We are now mates. Dax raised an eyebrow. Do we need a honeymoon suite or a containment unit? She growled. He raised both hands. Joking. Mostly. I will petition the council to nullify the bond. Oh good. That sounds like a bureaucratic nightmare. Love those. But until then, she said sharply, you are under my protection. No one may harm you. Not even me. Dax gave her a mock bow. Well, sweetheart, glad to know my future ex-wife has a code of honor. She rolled her eyes and turned on her heel. Follow me. Touch nothing. Speak little. Can I still look heroic and mysterious? She paused, looking him over with disdain. You look like a half-scorched human mistake. Yeah, Dax grinned. But apparently I'm your mistake now. She walked faster. Behind her, Dax adjusted his half-torn vest, muttering to himself. Note to self, glowing red drinks are never just juice. Next time? Sniff test. Maybe a label. Or just stick to Earth coffee. He glanced at the trail of guards cautiously parting before him, and added, Unless that blood stuff comes with dental benefits. My teeth feel amazing. The energy still shimmered faintly along his arms. The jungle around him seemed quieter now. More aware. The trees leaned. The winds bent. Or maybe he was just hallucinating the effects of alien royalty fluids. Either way, he was already in too deep. And the princess? She didn't look thrilled. Which made this whole thing even funnier. Dax stared at his reflection in the polished obsidian walls, shirtless, with faint red circuitry glowing beneath his skin. He'd expected a cell. Instead, he'd woken up on a bed that probably cost more than his ship, surrounded by hovering medical orbs whispering diagnostics in a language he couldn't pronounce and didn't trust. His arm tingled. The nanospirits were still partying in his bloodstream. Then came the council. 7 tall, glowing-robed figures glided in like silent judges from a sci-fi soap opera. At their center stood Celari, jaw tight, arms folded, radiating barely contained disdain. This is him? One of the priestesses asked, voice echoing as if she had extra lungs. The human who consumed my bond blood, Celari said, tone clipped. He lives, another murmured. Unchosen. Untested. Unfiltered. I'm sitting right here, ladies, Dax said. And if we're talking filters, I've passed through some pretty rough ones. Try surviving Taco Tuesday on the Mars colony. Celari closed her eyes like she was praying for patience, or possibly divine vaporization. He is now Consort Alpha by law, the eldest priestess announced. The nano-spirits accepted him. The bond has formed. It cannot be undone unless he perishes. Gee, that's comforting, Dax muttered. Celari snapped. Do not think this makes you special. Too late. He grinned. You said it yourself, your blood likes me. One priestess floated closer. The bond is unstable. He must complete the rite of will before the cycle ends. But what now? If he survives, he becomes dominant consort, Celari said through gritted teeth. If not, the bond is purged. And so is he. Sounds like an alien divorce with bonus flames, Dax said. So, trial by fire, or trial by interpretive psychic dance? The rite begins tomorrow, the elder said. Prepare his mind. As the priestesses vanished, Celari stayed behind, glaring. Do you understand what you've done? I was thirsty. The container glowed. Sue me. You are tethered to me. Do you know how degrading this is? You're preaching to the wrong choir. I was supposed to be getting intel, and instead I'm apparently starring in Alien Bachelor, Blood Edition. Her armor flickered for a second, reacting to something. Him, probably. He smirked. Does your suit always blush when you get mad? That's a defense response. She lied. Sure it is. So is the twitch you just did when I said mate. You are impossible. And you're still here. Which makes me wonder, maybe your blood's not the only thing that's bonding to me. Her fingers twitched. On Yularis, we honor strength, not smugness. I'm both. Bonus package. She walked toward the door, hesitated, then spun on him. Do not expect affection. This is not a love bond. It is biology. Ritual. Accident. Oh, totally. Just an accidental soul link via royal nanospirits. Happens all the time back home, right between breakfast and awkward dating apps. She opened the door, muttering something in a language that sounded like a curse. Probably about him. Hopefully. As it slid shut, Dax flopped back on the bed, stared at the ceiling, and muttered, Consort Alpha, huh? Wonder if that comes with free snacks and a cape. The next hour brought more weirdness. A small alien child snuck in to deliver a tray, took one look at him, and dropped to one knee. Hey, kid. You good? You bear the glow, the boy whispered reverently. They say even the stars bent when you drank the royal red. Is that a local saying, or should I be worried I caused an eclipse? The boy just bowed and ran. Dax stared after him, then at the plate of shimmering food. He poked a cube that vibrated when touched. Better not be blood jello. He spent the evening dodging hovering scrolls detailing consort laws, trying not to laugh at some of the ridiculous customs. Rule 17. Dominant mate must perform a ceremonial stare-down during public processions. Rule 43. Mating rituals may not be interrupted by diplomatic requests unless death is imminent. Wow, he muttered. You people really blur the line between sex and paperwork. His skin still glowed faintly in sync with his heartbeat. It felt like someone had plugged him into a sensual mood ring. He scratched his neck. The nanospirits hummed. From the corner, a voice. You shouldn't agitate them. Sailari stood at the threshold again, arms crossed. You keep popping up like an angry Alexa, he said. You joke too much. I breathed sarcasm. It's part of the charm. You do not understand the weight of the right. Lady, I don't even understand your blood. It tasted like battery and regret. But here we are. If you survive, the spirits will align with you fully. You will become the dominant. He arched a brow. And what happens to you? Her jaw clenched. I yield. To me? She didn't answer. Oh. He grinned. That's kinda hot. Terrifying. But hot. Do not read into it. I'm trying not to. But the nanospirits are giving me ideas. And tingles. Her eye twitched. Sleep. You'll need strength. The trial breaks those who overestimate themselves. Or maybe I'll break the trial. She stared at him for a long, silent second, then left without another word. As the door closed, Dax whispered, You drank my blood, human, in a mocking voice, then snorted. Well, princess, guess you're stuck with me. Hope your royal instincts like jokes and bad decisions. Dax stood at the center of the ceremonial chamber, barefoot, shirtless, and glowing like a malfunctioning Christmas ornament. The alien priestesses floated around him, chanting in a language that sounded like bees arguing in slow motion. A spiked crown of silver was placed around his head, humming with static and unspoken judgment. Sailari watched from the elevated seat, arms folded, expression unreadable, armor faintly flickering with suppressed energy. The trial of will was not a test of strength. It was a psychic ordeal meant to break any unworthy consort's mind, crush ego, strip away identity, and judge whether the soul within was fit to dominate the royal blood. Dax only half listened. He was still trying to figure out why one of the priestesses had referred to this as a spiritual colonoscopy. His mind was pulled under before he could complain. Darkness wrapped around him. Then flashes. Memories. A flood of everything he buried, comrades lost. Orders followed. Mistakes made. Faces of people who had once trusted him. Then Earth bureaucracy, his own guilt, and a horrifying moment of being stuck on hold with tech support while bleeding out in a war zone. A disembodied voice asked, Why do you laugh when afraid? Because screaming doesn't come with a punchline. Dax answered. Why do you hide behind humor? Because it's the only shield I could afford after my soul broke. Why did you drink the blood? Because I was dying. And I don't read alien warnings. It's a habit. You dishonor the bond. I didn't ask for it. But I won't run from it. Do you seek dominance? No. But I'll take it if it means I get to choose who I am again. Silence. Then pressure. His mind bent. His thoughts scattered. Visions hit, Sailari on the battlefield, screaming his name. Her armor falling away like shattered light. Her hand outstretched, trembling, not from fear, but surrender. Not to him, but to whatever they now were. Dax's heart thundered. He clenched his fists. I don't need your throne, he whispered to the void. But I'm not kneeling either. The nanospirits surged. A storm of red fire. They tore at him, tried to unmake him, until he laughed. One deep, loud, defiant laugh. It cracked the darkness. The spirits recoiled. You laugh in agony? It's how we humans flirt with death. Then light exploded. He collapsed to one knee as the vision shattered. Reality returned like a slap. The chamber was still. The chanting had stopped. The priestesses stared in something between fear and awe. He was breathing hard, steam curling off his skin. Sailari descended the stairs slowly, staring at him as if she didn't recognize the man who'd stumbled into her custody 2 days ago. You pass, the elder priestess said quietly. No human has ever. He didn't just pass, Sailari interrupted. He broke them. Dax looked up. Do I get a sticker or a sash for that? She knelt in front of him. The room held its breath. I yield, she said softly. By right, by bond, by blood. You are my dominant. Dax blinked. You sure? Because I still don't know which fork to use at fancy dinners. She didn't laugh. Her voice was a whisper now. This bond was meant to bind. To control. But it chose wrong. Or maybe, it chose right. I don't know. He stood, slowly, muscles aching, body buzzing with power that wasn't his but now answered to him. So, he said, brushing dust off his pants. Does this mean I get say in palace decoration? Because that throne needs cushions. My back's killing me. Sailari's lips twitched. Not a smile. Not quite. But something. The priestesses bowed their heads. Dax looked around, brow raised. Okay, great. I passed. I'm not dead. I'm glowing, people are bowing, and apparently I'm bonded to a violent space princess with commitment issues. Sailari's eyes narrowed. I do not have commitment issues. Really? Because I'm 3 days into this and I've already heard this is a mistake more times than in my last 3 breakups combined. She opened her mouth to retort, then paused. Your mind is unguarded. Your heart, unruly. But the spirits chose you. And I cannot ignore that. Welcome to the chaos, Dax said. Hope your instincts like sarcasm. Do not mock this. I'm not mocking. I'm making it livable. The chamber began to clear. Attendants approached with ceremonial garb and gifts. Someone tried to hand Dax a long staff etched with glowing symbols. He took it, turned to Sailari, and deadpanned. Is this a weapon or a marital aid? Her eye twitched again. Definitely both. He spun it, just to show off. It nearly hit a wall. Still learning, he added. You have power now, she said. But you will need more than jokes to keep it. I've made it this far with dumb luck, questionable decisions, and humor. Why stop now? He stepped closer, lowering his voice. But if this bond is going to keep messing with our heads, maybe we should stop fighting it and figure it out. Together. She didn't back away. Didn't flinch. It will not be simple, she said. Nothing worth doing ever is. They stood there, pulse beats sinking. Power humming beneath the surface. Whatever they were, it was no accident now. And somewhere, the spirits inside both of them purred like engines warming for war, or something much more intimate. The throne room pulsed like a living heart. The nanospirits responded to him now, forming shimmering bridges beneath his boots, whispering alien secrets into his bloodstream. He didn't ask for this. He just drank something because he was thirsty and bleeding, and now a planet thought he was their battle consort king. The alien princess, now flustered beyond her regal training, hovered between seduction and strategic panic. Her ceremonial cloak slipped from one shoulder, exposing iridescent skin flushed violet from internal conflict. She tried to reassert control. The ritual isn't complete until the ceremonial bonding, she said, eyes narrowing. You may still walk away. He raised a brow. Bonding? Is that your word for marriage or mating or both? It involves a lot of wrestling, she muttered. And not metaphorically. The guards watched nervously, unsure who outranked whom. Their nano-spirits had already bowed to the human, but protocol demanded the princess seal it with a trial of submission. The issue was, she couldn't beat him. Worse, she didn't want to anymore. I could run, he teased. But I'm already in too deep. Your blood's got me feeling things, princess. Like I suddenly understand your language, and your favorite food. You weren't supposed to survive. She hissed, half angry, half turned on. The blood tests your intent, not your taste buds. Guess I passed. And now I have royal nanobots inside me playing charades. They'll obey you now. Even override mine. You drank me. Technically, I drank from a broken cup after getting stabbed. Not sure it counts as consent. Her breath caught. And yet, now I'm the one who needs your permission to rule. The crowd was growing. Alien nobles, warriors, and even a few exiled clans stood along the biogrown balconies. Whispers spread fast. The human had triggered the mate bond, bypassed the trials, and tamed the blood spirits. Which meant, by ancient code, he owned her title, and her. He wasn't interested in owning anyone. But the way she looked at him, frustrated, aroused, respectful, he realized something. She didn't want obedience. She wanted someone who could stop her. Who wouldn't bow. And now she couldn't stop thinking about what else he could dominate. Just so you know, he said, stepping closer. On my planet, when you bite someone, it's usually foreplay. She blinked. On mine, we skip that step. We go straight to marking. The nanospirits around them began to hum, detecting rising tension and sinking it. The air thickened with a strange energy, like static that wanted to pounce. She leaned in until their foreheads touched. You claim me in front of all, she said softly, and this empire becomes yours. You'll have to wear a cape. Give speeches. Breed heirs. Breed, huh? She didn't flinch. Daily. Possibly hourly. He gave a half smirk. You're really selling this. You're the one who drank me. She snapped. I warned you. Now the bond's active. My soul's linked to your strange meat brain, and every time you think something inappropriate, I feel it in stereo. Well, he chuckled. You must be getting a full surround sound experience right now. She gulped. Her eyes dilated. You filthy human! That's your majesty now, I think. The royal scribes had already begun engraving his name into the official mating stones. The High Priest of Fluids, yes, that was the actual title, stepped forward with a bowl of sparkling slime. Do you accept the bond, human male? He stared at the bowl. Do I have a choice? The princess leaned against him. We can always retest your dominance in private later. I accept. The slime was poured, the cheers erupted, and just like that, he was husband emperor of a sentient blood cult royal dynasty. Afterward, when they were alone in the floating palace suite, which vibrated when arousal levels exceeded diplomatic thresholds, he glanced at her curled tail resting across his chest. So, he asked, is the daily ceremony optional? She grinned wickedly. Only if you want riots. I've caused enough revolutions for one lifetime. She kissed his throat, right where the bond pulse shined. You haven't even started, my mate. And deep in his bloodstream, the nanospirits whispered in unison. Hail to the king!